Welcome back. Haiti has been suffering after last Saturday's massive 7.2 magnitude quake. More than 2,000 injured. That is dead. 2,000. And the injuries are about 12,000 right now. Hundreds of people missing. For the survivors, basic necessities are hard to come by. And international help is slow in coming. But one Bay Area social entrepreneur's business that he founded more than 10 years ago is making a difference. Joining us now from London en route to Nairobi is Jim Chu from San Francisco. He's founder of Untapped Global and Dlohaiti, a water treatment and production company. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Kristin.
Yeah, I know it's a crazy hour probably where you are right now with the international travel, so I appreciate it. I know you have lots of contacts and friends in Haiti due to your work. Before we talk about what it is you do there exactly, how are they doing right now? What's the story from the folks who are there on the ground?
Yeah, well, I have a company and a team and a lot of people on the ground, as well as many, many friends. And fortunately, the main cities where I know the most people weren't hit, and my staff were all working in those cities. So they're doing well, but they're all really mobilizing right now to really help in the relief effort, sending water down to the areas that were hit and doing whatever they can to help.
Okay, and I know Dlo, your company, is part of that. By the way, that's Dlo, like the water, right, in French, which is what
that's right, yeah, or Dlohaiti in Creole, yes.
Okay, how did an entrepreneur in the Silicon Valley end up going to Haiti, spending basically half your time in the last decade there to improve their drinking water supply?
Well, I went down there like many people did right after the earthquake in 2010 and wanted to volunteer and help. And, I concluded pretty quickly that the best way to help was to actually build more resilience. And so we started a company so that local Haitians and entrepreneurs can deliver a lot of the things that international organizations were trying to deliver. And I loved it. And so kept on doing it. And as you mentioned earlier, now we're doing it around the world.
Okay, so how does this work? And how does it rely on really the local Haitian businesses and stores to be a part of the solution?
Yeah. So unlike aid or relief, help doesn't come in from the outside. The idea is to really empower local entrepreneurs by providing the know-how, the tools, oftentimes the money, so that local entrepreneurs can provide things like clean water. And so it's a very different approach. It takes longer, but ultimately I believe it builds much more resilience so that local residents and local entrepreneurs can not only prepare for disasters like the one here, whether they're natural disasters or man-made political disasters, but they can also respond to them when they do hit.
Right. And I mean, with global warming, more and more such disasters, and with the government not really being the most secure there, sometimes just really hard using the local infrastructure and relying on the local leaders to get help out to the people. So what is Dlo doing right now in the wake of this quake? I know because of that infrastructure, you are able to get water out to the folks who, for example, lost their homes, right?
That's right. So two things. In the short term, relief-wise, we're sending water down. So there's, as you mentioned, thousands or 70,000 homes were destroyed, mostly in the rural areas, but there's nothing. They're homeless. They have no resources. And so we're sending some of those basic necessities down right away. But then switching to much more of the infrastructure building approach right away. So setting up water treatment systems and really helping the local entrepreneurs there and local communities set up their own ability to respond and be resilient.
All right. I know you're trying to do that on a global level, too, with Global Untapped. And look, people saw a lot of video of you in Haiti. I think you swimming in Haiti, one of the many fundraisers you held over the years to try to help folks there. What can we do here for folks who want to help Haiti right now?
Great question. So I think if you know people in Haiti, especially if you know people who are in the affected areas, the best thing you can do is to send money. $2,000 cash donation to a community there will feed 100 people for weeks. And it's the most efficient way to actually help the people in Haiti. If you don't know people in Haiti that way, then there are great organizations that I trust, such as Product MetaShare, ProductMetaShare.org.
Right. Well, we'll talk about the rest over on Facebook Live because we do have to take a short break on the air, Jim. So join us there for the conversation.
Great.
All right. We are finishing up our conversation with a couple more minutes on Facebook Live, Jim. And I wonder, if you can finish, you said there were a couple great organizations that you would personally recommend that will get the money into the form of actual help to people.
Yeah, so Product MetaShare, productmetashare.org is the website. It's a great one. It's coming out of University of Miami, and they're sending doctors and nurses down to set up clinics right away, field clinics to really help the people who have been affected directly. Short term, that's the best thing you can do, best thing that one can do. Longer term, it's really about, I think, engaging those countries and helping invest in them, not just give them aid, but really invest in places like Haiti, but also other countries that are trying to build themselves up economically. So even in Haiti, the best thing I think you can do is to understand it and ultimately invest in it.
Yeah, I mean, the investment is everything, right? Because if it's just reliance on NGOs, right, the funding can dry up, and then where are you then? But tell us why you love Haiti so much, because I think very few, like a lot of Americans don't know much about Haiti. We're not that engaged with the country on a typical basis. So what do you love about it?
Yeah, I wish we had a lot more time to talk about that, because not only is it a beautiful country with beautiful people, and I ultimately think what I see is the untapped potential of both the country and the people. And I think it's really, I saw it as my opportunity, if you will, to create opportunity, to bring out some of that potential. And I think we were able to do some of that. But I think even more so, Haiti can be let's call it even a beacon for how can we do development better. It isn't just about aid, it isn't just about charity. It's about helping the economy grow, helping entrepreneurs, helping business thrive in those countries. And I think Haiti has a tremendous potential when it comes to that,
right. Well,
whether
Jim
it's
Chu,
tourism or anything else.
Founder of Dlohaiti and Untapped Global, thank you so much for your time. Pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much, Kristin.